Remember that static buzz when your VHS tape needed rewinding? That unmistakable scent of plastic cases and butter popcorn as you stepped into the video store on Friday night? Back then, choosing a movie wasn't a casual scroll, it was a mission. And when you spotted that last copy of Jurassic Park across the aisle, your heart raced as another kid reached for it. In that moment, you weren't just renting a film, you were claiming a weekend treasure that required patience, perfect timing, and sometimes a sprint down aisle 3. 1. Friday night video stores and the VHS ritual.
On the next Rituals,
You put that bruise on your arm, didn't you, Eddie? So what if I did?
Tom goes hunting for Eddie.
You punch! You punch! Take it off! All right, break it off! Break it off!
And
Do you want to go to jail? You want to make a deal?
The cold clack of a plastic VHS case snapping shut in your hands, that sound meant Friday night had officially begun. You'd wander under that fluorescent hum of ceiling lights, fingers trailing along the spines of movies while breathing in that unmistakable cocktail of stale popcorn and shrink-wrapped plastic. Remember spotting the last copy of Jurassic Park behind the display case? Whew. Your heart racing as you made eye contact with another kid reaching for it? That split-second calculation. They're slower. You sprint, slide, and snatch it. Victory never tasted sweeter than holding that precious weekend treasure. Those Be Kind Rewind stickers weren't just polite suggestions, they were warnings. Your dad muttering about the $1 rewind fee from last time while rewinding at home. And that staff picks wall? That was the original recommendation algorithm, except instead of cold data, it was the cool college guy with the band t-shirt who actually knew movies. When he nodded at your choice, you felt like you'd joined some secret film club. 2. The screech of dial-up and the drama of AIM. That harsh, mechanical symphony. Sorry for that. Your family's computer connecting to the internet was the most anticipation-filled 45 seconds of your day. You'd sit, bathed in the blue-white glow of your CRT monitor, the flicker casting shadows across your dark bedroom as you waited, hoping nobody picked up the phone. Then that magical sound. Cheep! The AIM door creaking open, your heart skipping when their screen name appeared. The rush was electric. Your away message said, "Out walking the dog," with some paw emoticons. But you were right there, fingers hovering over the keyboard, watching to see if they'd message first. The careful crafting of your profile quote, with those perfect song lyrics that said everything without saying anything at all. You'd spend hours decoding their away messages. Bored, call me, meant they wanted someone to call, but who? And why not you? Those 3 dots appearing, disappearing, appearing again as they typed, deleted, and retyped their message was psychological warfare that Instagram could never replicate. But the next thing on our list? You had to record it in real time, or start completely over from scratch. 3. Crafting the perfect mixtape. The soft resistance of the dual cassette deck's record button clicking down beneath your finger. That electric feeling as you positioned your favorite CD, ready to capture sonic gold. You'd hover near the stereo, barely breathing, finger poised over the pause button like a sniper waiting for the perfect moment. 2 hours into crafting side B, you've calculated the remaining tape time to the second. Then, it happens. Track 9, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Recording perfectly from the radio when the DJ's voice crashes over the first 5 seconds. That was Aerosmith with Rage, absolute rage. You'd stay up another hour waiting for it to play again, because that song had to be there. It said everything you couldn't. The final step was pure art, carefully cutting magazine letters for that perfect mixtape title. Sketching tiny hearts or flames in the corners, writing track listings in your neatest handwriting. Cultural critic Jeffrey O'Brien wasn't exaggerating when he called Mixtapes the most widely practiced American art form. Your fingers would be stained with marker ink. But you'd created something that said, "I see you," in a way a Spotify playlist never could. When you handed it over, you weren't just giving songs. You were offering pieces of your soul, meticulously arranged in 60-minute form. 4. Slamming pogs on the playground. The metallic clunk of your slammer hitting the stack echoed across the playground. That satisfying weight in your palm. Maybe it was your prized brass slammer, the one with the skull design that cost you 3 weeks of allowance. The smell of crushed grass and playground sweat mixing as kids crowded around holding their breath. There it was, the holographic red Power Ranger Pog, gleaming in the stack, your heart pounding as you lined up your shot. Whew. One perfect throw, feeling the vibration travel up your arm as your slammer made contact, caps exploding outward, some landing face up, including the Red Ranger. You're untouchable, playground royalty, at least until tomorrow's rematch when Jimmy brings his older brother's metal slammer that's totally against the rules. Remember how schools started banning them? It's gambling, teachers would say, confiscating slammers faster than notes passed in class. Those little cardboard discs, originally just milk bottle caps from Hawaii, somehow became playground currency more valuable than lunch trades or friendship bracelets. The rush of winning someone's prized Pog for keeps was a power no video game has ever replicated. Coming up next, a toy so intense, the National Security Agency literally banned it from their headquarters. 5. The slightly creepy world of digital pets.
Well, if it isn't Tamagotchi, her new favorite pet.
Yes!
So what's that make me, fish sticks?
Oh, are you hungry?
Oh, no. By all means, feed it. Play till your heart's content.
Look, Goldie! I took good care of her, and she changed again.
Change?
That high-pitched chirp of your Tamagotchi at 2 a.m., the sound that launched 1,000 midnight feeding sessions. You'd slip it under your pillow so your parents wouldn't hear, feeling like a secret agent on a life-or-death mission. Because it was life or death for your pixelated baby. You're sitting in math class trying to follow fractions when you remember. You haven't checked your Tamagotchi in hours. Heart racing, you sneak it from your pocket under the desk, press the tiny button, and a tombstone. It's gone. Dead. Buried. You hold back actual tears while staring at the tiny screen. This wasn't just a toy, this was your child. The guilt would haunt you all day. Then there was the Furby, that owl-hamster hybrid with mechanical eyelids that would suddenly blink to life in the dark corner of your room at midnight. "Me hungry," it would announce unprompted at 3 a.m. The real nightmare fuel? When it would somehow activate even after you'd removed the batteries, its soft fur brushing against your arm as those eyes opened wide. No wonder the National Security Agency actually banned Furbies from their headquarters. They were convinced these chatty creatures were recording classified conversations. They weren't, but try telling that to anyone who heard their Furby whisper in the middle of the night with no batteries installed. 6. Beanie Babies and the first digital gold rush. The crinkly sound of plastic tag protectors. That's the sound of serious business. You weren't just collecting plush toys, you were securing investments. The satisfying weight of those bean-filled bodies as you arrange them on your shelf, never to be played with, only admired. That fresh McDonald's Happy Meal smell mixed with the new plastic scent of a teeny beanie still in its packaging. Pure treasure. Remember convincing your mom to drive to 3 different McDonald's because each location had run out of Patty the Platypus? Or when you traded 5 regular beanies for 1 Princess Diana bear, certain it would put you through college someday. Your cousin still hasn't forgiven you 20 years later. That bear is worth exactly $47 now. We studied those Beckett price guides like sacred texts, debating which retired beanie would skyrocket next. Your parents talking in hushed tones about college funds while spending $300 on a purple Millennium Bear. The absolute conviction that these small fabric animals would someday make us all rich. It wasn't just collecting. It was our first taste of speculation, market timing, and yes, financial heartbreak when the bubble burst and suddenly nobody cared about your mint condition Aaron the Bear with the rare tag error. Up next, you took the pictures, but you wouldn't see them for a week, and you'd pay for every single one, even the ones with your thumb covering the lens. 7. Waiting for photos to develop. That chemical scent hitting your nose as you cracked open the photo envelope. A smell that meant memories were about to materialize. The weight of anticipation after waiting days to see if you actually captured that sunset, that birthday smile, that perfect moment at the beach. You'd hand over your film roll to the teenager behind the counter at Walgreens, and then the waiting game began. Remember ripping open that envelope right there in the car, unable to wait another second, thumbing through those glossy 4x6 prints, the way they'd stick together slightly from the developing chemicals. One photo is perfect, absolutely frame-worthy. The rest, blurry heads, red eyes, and somehow one guy mid-sneeze looking like he's being exorcised. And there it is, your thumb appearing as a pink blob across 3 crucial shots. The best part was sharing those physical photos, huddled around a table. I look terrible in that one. No, you don't. Give it to me. Can I have a copy of that one? You'd write dates and places on the backs with ballpoint pens that sometimes dented through. No deleting, no filters, no second chances. Just 24 imperfect, beautiful moments, preserved exactly as they happened. And you cherished every single one, even the blurry disasters. Because each 4x6 piece of glossy paper cost actual money that your parents reminded you about with every click of the shutter. Eight, Computer Lab Royalty, Oregon Trail and educational games. The satisfying clack of those clunky beige keyboards echoing through the computer lab, the sound of serious business. The green glow of Oregon Trail illuminating your face as you stared at the fateful decision, ford the river or caulk the wagon. Your entire group huddled around one monitor, backseat driving your wagon across America. You lost your oxen to exhaustion, then your little brother to dysentery, then your dignity when you tried to hunt and scored 0 pounds of meat. But by God, you made it to Oregon, the only survivor in your party, and somehow that felt like real triumph. The computer lab erupted in cheers as if you'd actually accomplished something historic, not just survived a pixelated journey. Remember the rush when the teacher announced free time and everyone raced to claim a computer with Oregon Trail or Number Munchers? Suddenly math wasn't boring. It was life or death. You weren't learning history, you were living it, one cholera outbreak at a time. 9. Y2K, the panic that almost broke the world. The countdown clocks. The newspaper headlines, growing larger and more ominous each month of 1999. The strange tension in your parents' voices when they discussed Y2K preparations over dinner. The mysterious cases of bottled water appearing in the garage. You asked your dad if planes would really fall from the sky when the calendar hit 2000. He laughed and said no, but you noticed him charging the flashlight batteries anyway. That New Year's Eve felt different, electric with possibility. Would the power grid collapse? Would ATMs spew cash? Would your Nintendo still work? Staying up until midnight wasn't just about celebration. It was about witnessing potential apocalypse. The ball dropped. 2000 arrived. And nothing happened. The lights stayed on. Your relief mixed with the tiniest hint of disappointment, all that buildup for business as usual. Only years later would you learn that nothing happened because thousands of programmers worked around the clock to prevent disaster. Y2K wasn't a hoax. It was one of history's greatest saves. 10. TGIF and the magic of appointment television. The blue glow of the living room TV on Friday night was sacred. You'd rush through dinner to claim your spot on the couch, the familiar notes of the Boy Meets World theme song signaling the official start of the weekend. The smell of microwave popcorn mixing with the artificial fruit punch of your Capri Sun as your entire family settled in for TGIF. Miss one episode of Family Matters? Catastrophic. Monday morning at school, everyone would be quoting Urkel's latest catchphrase or discussing Topanga and Corey's relationship drama. And you'd stand there, completely out of the loop. No streaming, no recording. You either witnessed it live or lived with the consequences. Remember negotiating bedtime extensions specifically for Full House? Or the collective gasp when someone walked in front of the TV during a crucial moment? TV wasn't background noise. It was community. Your favorite characters weren't just on a show. They visited your living room every Friday night at exactly 8 p.m. The anticipation of waiting a full week to see what happened next gave each episode weight that no binge watch could ever replicate.
Maybe what we really miss isn't just the Beanie Babies, gathering dust in our parents' attics, or the forgotten Pogs and shoeboxes under beds. Maybe it wasn't even the Friday nights bathed in the blue glow of TGIF or the satisfying clack of a VHS case. Maybe what we're truly nostalgic for is the beautiful friction of a world that made us wait. The delicious anticipation of developing photos after waiting a week. The craftsmanship of recording a mixtape in real time. The shared experience of everyone watching the same TV show at the exact same moment across the country. Our childhoods existed in that perfect twilight between analog and digital, where technology was magical enough to amaze us, but limited enough to make us work for what we wanted. We had to be patient. We had to put in effort. We had to be present. And maybe that's exactly why these memories stuck. They weren't just experiences we consumed. They were moments we earned. In a world of instant everything, perhaps what we really miss is the sweet ache of waiting for something special. If this brought you back, even just for a moment, consider subscribing. We've got more memories where that came from. Because while we can't rewind time like those VHS tapes from Blockbuster, we can certainly press pause and remember how it felt to grow up in the last analog generation.